June is Infertility Awareness Month. Earlier this week, I introduced you to Caitlin Cuskey, a Fort Myers woman who dealt with infertility in her mid-20s. She and her husband turned to IVF to have a baby, and after 3 years, countless needles, and an endless supply of hope, they finally had their twin boys. It was an emotional and at times lonely journey, and in today's Your Healthy Family, I'm showing you how Caitlin is using her own experience to help others.
This was just one of those pictures that you never thought you'd see, and
Do you remember what you were thinking in that moment?
like just in disbelief. I cannot believe there's two babies next to me and that they're here.
That's so amazing.
And now Caitlin Cuskey's twin boys, Brooks and Blake, are 3 years old.
It's still surreal to look at them, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Having two toddlers is hard. It is so hard, and they test my patience. But I think going through, I went through, one made me a better mom, and two, really appreciate those moments that I may not have.
Moments she could have never had. You see, when Caitlin was just 26 years old, she and her husband Mac were diagnosed with both male and female factor infertility.
We're sitting across from our doctor, and he's saying, I'm sorry, you have less than a 0% chance.
They decided to try to have their family through in vitro fertilization. And at that time, 6 years ago, she says people weren't really talking openly about infertility.
When I first found my diagnosis, I knew nobody.
Why do you think that it's such a hush-hush topic?
Probably embarrassment, which I felt that too. You know, we're intended to make babies and carry babies, and just that your body's failing you is embarrassing.
But she wanted to change that narrative. And while listening to a podcast, Caitlin found Moms in the Making, a faith-based fertility support group.
And I was like, that's what we need. And I decided to apply to become a leader locally in Fort Myers. The outpouring, I had women cover my entire couch. And here I am thinking, it's just me.
When she finally got pregnant after 3 rounds of IVF and 5 embryo transfers, Caitlin's emotional struggles didn't stop.
I made it to 38 weeks, and I lived in fear of every week of that. It's the constant questioning of, can my body do this, after doubting your body's ability for so long? It's hard to experience joy in that moment because joy has been taken so many times.
That's when she'd lean on other Moms in the Making for support. She's been part of the group for the last 4.5 years. And while they meet virtually now since COVID,
To just see miracle after miracle, because I think all of those original women on my couch are holding multiple miracles at this point.
women like her. And she wants her story to be an example for other Moms in the Making.
Just because your diagnosis is 0% doesn't mean that miracles don't still happen.
For other women who are losing hope, who are struggling to continue and are wondering if their miracle's ever going to come, what would you tell them?
That hope is never lost, that you may feel that you are at your wit's end and you cannot go anymore, but you put one foot in front of the other because your family and your kids are worth fighting for. Is it hard? Yes. Is it unfair? Absolutely. But the other side is worth every single needle, every single loss, every single thing you have to go through.
And Caitlin also says she does honor the people who've chosen to step away from fertility treatments, and they should be celebrated for their strength as well. Now, 1 in 6 people are impacted by infertility, and you don't have to go through it alone. There are 82 Moms in the Making groups worldwide that you can join for support. I'm Lisa Greenberg, and I'll have the information to do that online at fox4now.com/yourhealthyfamily.